New questions tonight about the taxpayer-funded Tennessee State Museum. The state approved $120 million for a new building, but some critics claim the museum is more focused on politics than art.
Investigative reporter Ben Hall has followed these issues for years. Ben.
We first questioned the timing of an exhibit honoring U.S. Senator Lamar Alexander. It may now be canceled, but museum board members have new concerns about recent purchases.
We'll still do the exhibit. We'll do it later.
That's what the director of the Tennessee State Museum told us back in 2013 about a traveling exhibit featuring Senator Lamar Alexander.
This is one of the pivotal stories in Tennessee's contemporary political scene.
Lois Riggins-Ezell said the exhibit, which focused on Alexander's time as governor, was an important piece of Tennessee history.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
But she postponed the exhibit after we questioned why it was time to coincide with Lamar Alexander's re-election campaign.
When a question was raised that there might be some way you could look at this and feel that it was being inappropriately handled, we simply said, we will postpone this to another place.
But now that Alexander has been re-elected, the museum says the exhibit may never be shown. A spokesperson said it has been put on indefinite hold while the museum works on plans for a new building, using $120 million promised by the Tennessee legislature. But that money has brought new questions. The governor's former chief of staff, Mark Cate, was just hired on at $10,000 a month to oversee the new building. And some board members have questioned why the museum bought art from a woman who served on the state committee that decided whether to build a new museum. The museum paid $3,600 for these paintings by Susan Simons. She also sat on the governor's new museum task force. In this 2013 memo, first reported by the Knoxville News-Sentinel, former museum board member Charlie Cook questioned whether the museum violated its own ethics rules with the purchase.
This work stands on its own.
It's not the only time questions have been raised about museum purchases.
And there's nothing that tells a story of that like photography.
In 2013, Riggins-Ezell defended buying these pictures from Jessica Ingram, the daughter of political power broker Tom Ingram, who was an advisor to both Governor Haslam and Senator Alexander.
I knew her because she was Tom Ingram's daughter. But did that have any influence on the purchase of the touring exhibit? Absolutely not. Only the excellence and quality of the work had influence on that.
The museum spent $6,000 on these pictures of civil rights sites, but they have not been displayed.
A museum doesn't buy things because they know someone. They buy things because the work tells a story, makes a statement.
Two members of the Museum Foundation's board were recently removed from the board after criticizing some of these art purchases.
So, Ben, who makes decisions on what art to buy?
Well, the museum's acquisitions committee consists of the director and 2 employees, but none of the museum's curators sit on that committee.